Eh? 2 million out of school children in Kano alone. Shena so, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said you should use your position when you have a chance of changing the life of the poor. Shein Koti Muhammad is on here. Eh? So when you go to all these places, you will see Christian governor, Christian commissioner, Muslim commissioner, Christian minister, Muslim minister, Yoruba minister, Igbo minister, Hausa minister, Fulani minister, Fulani commissioner, Yoruba commissioner. All of them are there ruining the lives of everybody that they can. So where do you think when they begin to sell that bobo and you, when you know that there are Yorubas and they are actually in the majority, who despise all these criminals and their activities, they will never stand up and begin to say, I'm a Yoruba, but they're not going to hide that. You know that. Then when you want to take your jibe, like the Olori Brukus like you, because you wanted to hide, behind say you are Igbo, and then you will just say, that is why I hate this tribe. All these Yorubas are this or that. Listen to me. As we have some of you mofos as Igbos, as you have some of these mofos as Yorubas, as you have all these mofos across the place who have nothing to actually contribute but to fan the ember of division. Look at the tiny, minute rogues, criminals who are promoting ethnic division from every tribe, and then you latch on that and you begin to hold your big brush and begin to paint the entire ethnic. They begin to paint them with the same brush. And then when you jam Mayegun, you want to sound like, what happened is that, except for Mayegun. And you see Mayegun, I am so surprised. A Yoruba man. Can you imagine? A Yoruba man. I can't believe this. A Yoruba man is talking like this. I have never seen a Yoruba man talk like this, because you are also a bigoty. As we have Yoruba bigots, we have Igbo bigoty, we have Hausa bigoty. Nigerians, naturally, majority of you are bigoty. Education couldn't change you. No amount of exposure. It is not just poverty. You were raised to be bigoty. And more reason why, if you get sense, you will queue behind those who kind of say, may everybody go their separate way. I decided to point at that because I know a lot of you, like I said, it is your territory. A Yoruba man comes. The Igbo women are very, very kinikon. Another one will come. Look at this idiot. You see, this is why I don't like all these Yorubas. The Yoruba women are kinikon, and I go take the opportunity. You can't say, well, I know what to say. I know what to say. If not, what do you want to say? Enjoy your bigotry. Okay? But the bottom line is that you contribute nothing. Because facts are always going to beat fiction. Nigeria is not working. We know why it is not. And we know those who want to keep it that way. However, when they begin to kind of act, like I said, after the 2023 elections, they said Igbos should go back to their Biafra. They cannot be president of Nigeria. They should leave Yoruba land. The Agberos, the fine barras, the sewage rats of this APC, Egbekegbe, you know them very well. You know what they represent. And you know the noble Yoruba men and women that will never stand on the side of wrong in a way. They will never intentionally side with what is wrong. I am one of them. However, it was like a clarion call at that moment. Those of the Igbos who are politicians, who are businessmen in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, when they started seeing some of their shops and businesses being set ablaze by the Tifnumbu thugs, APC, Egbekegbe in Lagos, and the state government has made it its policy, the State House of Assembly have decided to make laws. They call it indigenous this, indigenous that. So quick enough, a lot of the Igbos, they decided to act on it, and they started returning back to the eastern Nigeria. Oh, there is no security. There is unknown gunmen. There is if there is unknown gunmen, right? It seems we have allowed this madness to go on for too long. Somehow, they started going back. They started investing, interested in how to actually face, so that when they begin to do those things, if the political arrangement that wanted to keep them that way, if it is still very much in effect, now they have an opportunity to start something, push it, and they can always use that as the reason why they want to disagree with Nigeria. Something that they can actually start. Start your own seaports, dredge your own rivers, link them straight, dredge rivers that pass through, like River Niger, that pass through all the land in Igbo land. Dredge them to wherever they go to, make them the corridor. Go straight to the Atlantic. Cut deal with those ones who are right. I've said this many times. You know that. I've said this many times. And I've come here many times as well to tell you, I don't see the positive result. It seems that some of them are beginning to pick that up. For example, trying to improve on their own infrastructure. All right? That if you improve your infrastructure, you can attract, and then you also make access to land and the rest of that easier for those who want to come and invest. Baba, as you are watching this video, the states like Abia, they have taken the bull by the horn. Well, Abia is Alex Otti, right? So they now called what they called the Eastern Nigeria Economic and Security Summit. They now invited all of their best brains to come around and let's have a chat. Those who want to go into real estate, those who want to go into you know what I mean? Like those who want to go into PPP with them, build some infrastructures, right? With your money, all right? And then use that and recoup your money for a certain year. You know what I mean? They are now opening up now to allow that. This is not like a magic wand, though. It is not like, oh, thank God. It is just to tell you that when they start taking steps that looks like in the right direction, it is always ideal to point them out. Now, if they maintain that and there is consistency, then there will be, that is when you can begin to now build an expectation, hope. You know, when, for example, now, Alex Otti, or let me even tell you this, not just Alex Otti, there's this agenda, which is what they actually kind of are pushing. So they said, according to them, right, they were looking into, what do you call it? They were looking into building their own seaport this time around. But the arrangement or the process of the building is going to be just like I described it, building the channel that will eventually be like the gateway from the Atlantic Ocean straight into the heartland of Igbo land, right? Which means you can always barge at the big ocean, which is pretty much like, you know, a few kilometers away. Then build not just road, they will be able to build a rail track, train track from such place that will then run through and come to their land. Now, here is where the question of one Nigeria will need to be answered. Is it one Nigeria? It is one Nigeria, Abi. Okay. So we are building this channel. And the purpose is to bring the trade straight to Igbo land. And the Atlantic Ocean, which Nigeria, the coastline, they call it coastline. Nigeria on the map has over 800 kilometers of coastline of water. Part of that coastline cut across Igbo land too. But the deeper side of it is not entirely on the Igbo land part. So which means they have to build a channel, dredge it, load it with water. And whatever they are bringing to their main seaport, they just ferry the whole thing straight to the heartland of Onitsha. Or Aba. So this idea, give me one second. So this idea of the eastern part of Nigeria is listed as this, where they believe that everyone should play their part, grab their own chance. They want to build, they said They are marking Enugu International Airport a grade 1 airport so that passengers can fly in without stopover in Lagos or Abuja. You see, the Igbos, they are the most traveled people out of Nigeria. They are the most traveled. Sure you get? Which means the western part of Nigeria and the central part of Nigeria, they are benefiting so much economically that the Igbos have to run their businesses, right, through these two places instead of them running them through their own region. In a way that you spread the economic, what have you there, right? It is going to be a win-win situation for Nigeria. You see the mass migration of people from eastern Nigeria to other part of Nigeria, especially southwest Nigeria, right? There won't be just mass movement of people anymore. It will be mass movement of finished goods that are not only being, to serve the rest of Nigeria, they may actually also be goods who are destined to leave the shores of Nigeria that will hand Nigeria more forex. As they are doing in eastern Nigeria, they are doing in western Nigeria, and at the end of the day, it will create not one, not two, right? Not 10, not 20. It can create more than 50 million direct good paying jobs, better economy, good living standard. And this is a win-win situation for everybody that will be concerned. So they are planning that because no matter how much airport they try to build themselves, no matter how much announcement they make to tell you, Enugu Airport is now international airport too. International this, no. They know what they are doing. They will never direct those flights there. No matter how the standard. It is politically structured that way. So if the governors begin to speak out and say, we want this, we follow all the due process, why are we not getting this? Then they can begin to scream and shout. Then you can say, oh, they are doing something, Abi. So they said they want to dredge River Niger. I told you. Dredging it will then allow bigger vessels to actually sail through to the entrance or to the shoreline of the people of Biafra land. They will dredge it. The federal government of Nigeria has been talking about dredging and dredging. When Bokwari came, they designed a bridge. It is called Second Niger Bridge. This Second Niger Bridge, when Jonathan designed it, it was meant to have train track underneath it. A train track on the side of it. Vehicles passing on. Then you see vessels like ship can pass under. It was meant to be very tall. When Bokwari came, he cancelled the contract. And he told them the only way he would award the contract is for them to go and redesign it. Despite the fact that Jonathan has already paid over 90% of their own part of the contribution to the money. Nigeria's part of the money. Jonathan has paid that, but they were playing politics with it. Then it was gone. Bokwari came for this mental political arrangement, which is deliberate. They cancelled the contract, redesign it to something lower. Even if you dredge the River Niger, it will now be difficult for any vessel to pass under the current bridge. So you understand what it means to be political, to use political arrangement, to stifle a region of economic opportunities. The Second Niger Bridge right now is uncompleted, mostly abandoned. And it is deliberate. That's what I'm telling you. You will never see any completed government project in that part of the country because it is deliberate. Yeah? So they are looking at upgrading Owerri Airport to a functional cargo airport. So they are planning, right, to upgrade Enugu Airport to international airport that you don't have to stop in Lagos or stop in Abuja, which is something that a lot of Igbos have been demanding for years. But their governors, they had no political will to push it. I'm not saying they do now, but I want us to kind of keep the record that probably they do. So they want to turn Owerri Airport to a cargo airport whereby, every cargo can actually land. And according to them, the eastern part of Nigeria Aba, Japan, the Japan of Africa, if they have all the resources, electricity and everything, you see those who are bringing goods to Nigeria, and they are leaving Nigeria with empty container, empty vessel, empty planes. In eastern part of Nigeria, with this, there will be no need for any of those to live in empty. They will be packing things away too. Like I said, a win-win for the Igbo people and Nigeria, if they are still part of Nigeria then, right? So they want to do what they call the revival of the moribund industries in the southeast and south-south to provide job opportunities. They are talking about all those traditional industries built when the regions were regions. During the regional government, there were many, many industries built by the regional government. When the regionalism was abolished and one Nigeria, they started screaming one Nigeria, so many of those, thousands of those industries, right? They perished. These guys are talking about reviving them. I have no idea of what they are talking about. But anyway, that is something that is also positive. Also, they said they want functional rail lines in southeast and south-south regions. You know why they are adding south, right? Is because there is, in order to make all of their plan very successful, they will need to break that barrier, that political barrier that the criminals of Nigeria, the owners of Nigeria, intentionally put between the south-south and the southeast. It is political. Okay? So they are now saying, well, for us to be successful in all these things, we will need to think with this, the people of south-south as well. Just like the eastern region of Nigeria of the old. Well, their governors met, well, I'm coming to that. So provision of a good primary health care system, which is something they should be doing right now. They don't probably need, what do you call it? That as an agenda for the region. But well, fine, it should be, which everybody should take very much, you know. Then they are talking about provision of steady electricity supply. You see all these great ideas. Regionally, people can team up and build all these things. Before independence, after independence, in the eastern part of Nigeria, in western part of Nigeria, people bring ideas. They build together. When they make laws on education, everybody from the region benefit. And even if you are not from that region, but if you are living there, your children will also benefit. Healthcare, educational, infrastructure, even jobs. This was the old Nigeria that our forefathers signed up for. Not this one, no, that you are hearing Yoruba Ronu here. And you are hearing some people shouting that kill the Igbo, kill the IPOB. And the rest of all those things you are hearing right now, as divisive as they are. Back in the days, regionally, you don't have to worry about what is going on in northern Nigeria because they have their own government. You don't have to worry about what is going on in western Nigeria. They had their own government. They had their own constitution. They had their own law, and they had their own tax system. It was very okay. It wasn't perfect. So yeah, all these ideas will only come to fruition if it is not just politics, all talks, no action. So I'm going to take you to the place where they are doing all the talking and talking. So it was Soludombu who was asking for a plan here.
So a new dawn, a new team now give us the agenda. And that brings me to my third point. My third point is that we need a plan. I don't want to regale you with my own proposals and so on and so forth. We all have ideas. But for the organizers of this summit, what we need and will very much cherish from all of you is not just a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan. The Vatican plans in centuries. Give us a 100-year plan for the Southeast. Listen, you're welcome. Give us a 100-year plan. And in Anambra, we developed a 50-year plan, Vision 2070. My manifesto derived from that 50-year plan. We are intentionally, deliberately, intently implementing that. We need a plan. Because if you don't have a destination in mind, any road will take you there. I want to believe that at the end of this summit, we have a working group that will give us a Southeast plan and an agenda. So, a new dawn, a new team.
So Soludom addressing them in that summit, let's talk, we need plan, blah, 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 blah. But that was the plan. How to economically, then security. Me, I have one advice for them. When they are done playing politics, when they are done giving guns to their political options, the political options that they call unknown gunmen, when they are ready for the real security that will actually guarantee all the success of all the beautiful ideas they might actually mute, is for them to use that same political position now and demand for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let me tell you something. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested or kidnapped in 2015, December, and he was locked up, tortured, right? Brutalized, in fact, injured. At a point when an election was coming, and it was so kind of obvious that these political rogues from Eastern Nigeria, they would have so much electoral damages done to them. They decided to come together quick to arrange the behind the door Jankara bail condition. So when they released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, right, they called for a meeting where this old man, Unwa Bueze or so, you know, that old man, I think he's dead now. He used to be Atifu's lawyer as well during election petition. And all of the state governors, including Devil Umahi, they called the meeting in Enugu and they invited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come. When he got there, they expected him to start demanding for his own cut from the largesse of Nigeria that comes to the eastern part of Nigeria. I am talking about the penury, the crumbs that they actually feed fat on. But when Nnamdi Kanu will present his own demands from those they called the leaders of the eastern Nigeria, including the governors, guess what Nnamdi Kanu demanded? What were the demands of Nnamdi Kanu? For those who are very famous with that, right? Somebody said, how do you know much about, how does this, why would this Yoruba man care about Nnamdi Kanu, Baba? Like I told you, the moment you can drop your bigotry, you see this Yoruba man, you see this Yoruba platform, that you will say Yoruba platform to you because a Yoruba man actually, to you, in that your bigoted lenses that you use to, this platform where you have almost everyone from every part of Nigeria, by the way, we're not just talking and demanding for the freedom and release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Unconditionally, we also pulled our resources together to say, take our own widow's mite. We know that all of this fight, that those who are fighting for it legally, and that those ones who are doing it legally now, right? From this platform, we're not just shouting, release him. We also contributed our own little token to support those who have stood by him from day one. So it is on this Yoruba man's platform. So maybe at some point you will need to take off your bigoted lenses, because right here you will see an Hausa man that also contributed to that money. 2 million naira legal support fund was also, was given by this platform to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team is a token. But we are proud that we're not just talking. We also offered our little help where we could, and we are still doing as much as possible. Just so you know, in case if you just stumble on this platform by accident and you are so surprised, Yoruba. Anyway, if they indeed, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave them those demands, I remember there were 11 demands. Guess what were those in that? What were those things inside that paper? Nnamdi Kanu was asking the Igbo leaders that for the sake of our people and our children, the Fulani armed terrorists are indeed, they are going to invade this land. Their purpose is this and that. Please invest in your own security system for the sake of our people. Because when these terrorists comes, the Nigeria system is going to protect them. The Nigerian government is going to, instead of Nigerian government to go after them, they will go after the Igbos. They will blame them and kill them. But if you quickly put this under check by setting up your own security system here for this purpose. Secondly, the poverty in Igbo land, it should at least be addressed. The unemployment among young people in Igbo land, he told them, invest in the young people, create opportunity that will actually keep them in Igbo land to develop and contribute their own to the Igbo land. He said, invest in education. Invest in healthcare. Invest in the infrastructure of Igbo land. Make it a glorious place that all the Igbos will feel attracted and come back. That was his demand. Those were his demand, though. There was nowhere in those demands that he said, and I want you to declare Biafra. He is a very smart guy. Do you know why? He personally believed that if the Igbo political and economic leaders, if they do all these basic things, so basic, it will be easier, and it won't be long after when the Igbos will agree that if they could do this, then what is keeping them in Nigeria? Something enough. Immediately he left the meeting. They were surprised that he wasn't asking for money. He wasn't asking for anything that could make him rich. Some even said they were surprised that he wasn't asking for oil block. He wasn't asking for security contracts. He wasn't asking for, all those things that they could easily just give to him and let him just disappear into the oblivion. A lot of people said he was looking for attention. He was a scammer. He was a chancer. He was taking money from people. He was deceiving them, right? But when he had the opportunity of asking the real criminals for money, he never asked for a dime. 3 days later, they signed his death warrant. It was meant to be like an accident. Okay? 3 days after that meeting, they gave the signal to Abuja. You know what? You can come, Jare. The guy is even so gentle, so ordinary. We thought that, we thought he was so powerful that we can deal with and all of that. Oh yeah, bring the Operation Python dance. So they took Operation Python dance to Eastern Nigeria. It was meant, they expected, in their own formation, they thought young people, they will appear with guns and they will be fighting the soldiers. When they got there, they saw armless young people who are there to protect the man. They wholeheartedly called their leaders. Sorry, they wholeheartedly called their own leader. And Nigerian soldiers saw them and they opened fire on them. They killed his dog. They killed 28 young people that day. How he managed to escape from them remained a mystery that he never shared with anybody. That was after he met the Eastern Nigerian governor. So when he resurfaced, they were surprised. Even DSS couldn't tell what happened. How did he get away from them? The Nigerian soldiers couldn't tell. So for 2 straight years, they were lost, confused. And guess what? The rank and file of the IPOB, the followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they continue to grow and wax stronger and stronger and stronger. When he resurfaced, it was the shock of the year. Don't forget that. So Nigeria and the failure of Nigeria and the criminals in Nigeria, they are the ones who produced Nnamdi Kanu. And keeping him away illegally, even after kidnapping him, even after your court said let him go illegally, and then forming different terrorist group in Eastern Nigeria, giving them different names of unknown this, unknown that. While the man that you thought, if you lock up, everybody will disappear, is still there. So there is not going to be any real economic survivor or development or success in Eastern Nigeria if all of you, the political leaders of that place right now, if you do mean well, you will need to demand politically the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. Then we can then begin to take you serious. He's done nothing wrong. Bukwari spent 8 years. He couldn't produce one single evidence against Nnamdi Kanu, and he has killed. A lot of you have helped them. Hopeless Uzodigba and the rest, they have helped Bukwari to kill thousands of Igbo youth, and they labeled them ESN, IPOB. No investigation, no probe, no autopsy, no nothing. Just like that for 8 solid years. And you had governors, senators, commissioners, ministers from Eastern Nigeria. You have royal fathers, businessmen, businesswomen, and the rest of them. Now, if you do care genuinely, I think it is the right time to pull out all of the effort, the political strength, get Nnamdi Kanu out of that place. Then we'll take you serious. But if you are still kind of going to continue to promote propaganda, IPOB this, IPOB that, no investigation, no nothing, state-sponsored profiling, state-sponsored genocide, then I am not going to take anybody serious, but I'm glad I'm going to put it on the record here. Let's go to the next one. Tinubu is going to be back in Nigeria, possibly this weekend, maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday. He's going to be coming from France. Nobody knows where he is, but we believe he's in France. However, Tinubu's men, they invaded David Undenyi's house in Ghana. Here you get. They thought they would find him in the house. So, a week ago, David Undenyi raised an alarm that Nigeria sent a private jet to Ghana because they expected Ghana to have cancelled the, the asylum access they gave to him and the passport, and they were ready to send him back to Nigeria in that private jet so that they can give him Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's treatment. I know some of you who still don't realize that we are all in a mess. Whether you are for Biafra, or whether you are for Oduduwa, whether you are for Kwara Rafa, whether you are for Arewa, whether you are for one Nigeria, the one that is different from this one, we are all in soup with the arrangement and this current state capture. But if all of you are still jumping about and saying, this one deserves that, some of you are saying that David should be handcuffed and should be boxed down to Nigeria like they did to Nnamdi Kanu, so that you can laugh, so that you can feel better. So when Nnamdi Kanu is, when these criminals they are keeping Nnamdi Kanu as a trophy because he was exposing them. Yeah, you might have said, David and his position against the IPOB and all of you and all of that online will actually justify your own reason why you want him to be boxed back to Nigeria. But it is not going to also kind of give us the freedom that you are also yearning for. You know why? Because those who could indeed pull all of their weight together, leaving all of their differences and face a common enemy, an establishment that is already rigged against us. If you by any chance go against it, you either go missing, go exile, go to jail, or go deep 6 feet below. This is going to be the fate of anybody who goes against them, whether you are for Biafra or Dudua. So at this point, every smart person, anybody will get sense, you are not going to be making your enemies your friend. If you are a friend to my friend, if you're a friend to my enemy, you are my enemy. If you are this or that, you actually have to pick your fight now. If you are all serious. A few days ago, I had a suggestion from a lot of people. In fact, a special one actually stood out when they said we should start what is called a global movement, where Nigerians in diaspora will leave all of their differences like they normally do on Mayegun's Diary Politico. Leave all their differences and come together and face this monster, face this rotten establishment, and indeed have your way. Once you have your way, that means you can have everything you want if you actually know what you want. And I said, people chose why they are not happy with Nigeria. A lot of us are not happy with Nigeria for different reasons. Okay? Now, if you now have that common enemy that is coming for all of us in this regard, whether you are criticizing them or not, they are economically destroying millions of Nigerians. This future no sure for anybody anymore. So if you are happy and jumping up, your own is not different from, let me tell you this. When they came for El Zakzaki of the Shiites, some people said, because of their religion, or because of where they come from, they deserved it. El Zakzaki, he can die. Others are saying this is not right. They went for Omoyele Sowore. They humiliated him. They wanted him dead. He was shot at. They shot at him. Inside the courtroom where they were seeking justice, he was brutalized, assaulted by the Daura Secret Service at the time. A lot of you celebrated it. He deserved it because he brought APC to power. Because he criticized Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Buhari should deal with him. He deserved it. Then they came for the IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Just like that too. Some of you on the other side, kill him, John. He's always shouting. Very, very kinikon, very, very useless, very, very bad. He's a dangerous person. They should kill him. He's supposed to be jailed. He's supposed to be killed. Anybody that they see with him, the Nigerian government did exactly that. They started killing them. Some of you justified that. No be so? Then another time came. It was the turn of the youth of Nigeria. NSAS, NSAS, NSAC, NSAS, NSAC. We need our right. We are Nigerians. They started killing them. So some of you too, from the camp of Zakzaki, from the camp of IPOB, from the camp of Yoruba Nation, from the camp of Omoyele Sowore, they too started taking side. Kill them, John. They are the IPOB. They are Kiniko, they are Yoruba. You know, what I'm trying to say here is this. You have always been given the criminals, the murderers, the genocidists, every reason to kill anybody since it's not you. But the day you realize that instead of giving ourselves up, celebrating all of these killings, why don't you just stop the source of all these killings? Those who have this right of killings, whether they are killing you physically, or they are killing you economically, or they are killing you other way, right? How about you actually face that establishment, that rotten system? That mentality is why we are still not here we are today. All this talk. You can blame Mayegun. You can come here and talk to Mayegun that everybody just come and talk. But the bottom line is this. You all have your biases. You all have the reason why you are angry with Nigeria. And in a way, to you, some people's way, or their own anger against Nigeria is too much because you be the judge. This one should not react that way. They should not be angry that way. The anger should be this way. The anger should not be that way. You can't become the judge on how people should be angry with the way They have been unjustifiably treated as part of the contraption. You want to judge. So the moment you stop all of that mentality and you begin to see your own self, you begin to see yourself in the mirror, you begin to see how this is affecting you, and you begin to see those behind it. And everybody begin to understand that, dropping their differences, trust me, will make headway. David is now living in hiding. What did he do? Did he commit any crime? For exposing criminal, the drug lord do, with all evidence. The person that is the criminal is the president. The person that is exposing him is on the run. What kind of a country is that? Anyway, we hope that in due time, when all of us begin to see how much danger we are all in, we'll begin to possibly take ourselves more serious, and we'll begin to act. Until that time, somebody like me won't stop talking. And you can come here and complain. I will just listen to you and say, okay, Mayegun, we need to do something. And a lot of that. Of course, we need to do something. And what have you done? But I won't ask you that. I will just be like, okay, yeah, sure. People need to wake up. Just let's keep telling them. Sure, you get? Because until people understand how this actually affects them, they will never know how to fight it and why they should be fighting it. You won't give up. I have all my parliamentarians around. I have other clips and videos I was going to share. But at this point, I am just going to keep them to myself and share one. And this was the one where Oshiomhole, Senator Oshiomhole, was talking, and then he was kind of making his own contribution when they were grilling, when the Senate was grilling the new central bank governor Cardoso. I will use that as a break. I'll go make myself another cup of tea. Now, if you want to be part of this tonight, again, check the comments. There is a link there. You have 5 minutes to say your mind. After that, another person will come on. Please don't hug the microphone. When we yield the mic to you and say, Parliament, it's your turn, don't hug the microphone. Okay? Don't pretend that you don't know. There are other people waiting. Don't stay there and spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Sometimes, once I check the time and I use my hand like this, that's me trying to tell you to round up, okay? Now, you may raise a point that is so interesting that I would like to give you more time. That will be at my own discretion. But always have it at the back of your mind. Whatever you want to say, you only have 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, I am going to take you off. I may not even tell you. I'm just going to say, thank you so much, thank you, and I'll take you off. I am going to be very strict with time tonight. Please don't spend 4 minutes of your time appreciating me if you have other things you want to say. Of course, you can join and say, Mayegun, I appreciate you. Whatever you want to say is your own. But don't use most of your time appreciating me, thanking me. People say that all the time. Maybe when you finish talking, you can then thank me and say, Mayegun, thank you for your work, blah, 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 and leave. But if you spend most of that time, if I check my time and I realize that, you have already spent 5 minutes or 6 minutes, I'm just going to say, thank you so much. I'm not even going to tell you to round up. Please, do you understand? Oshiomhole was present where they were doing the screening for the new central bank governor. But it is not the screening that matters. It's not other things, but what he said. For this diary, I want to keep it here. And the credit for this clip is for the channel's television, by the way. Emma suspend, Emma report to me. I don't give you your credit. So the full clip is on their website, it's on their YouTube. But this part is that of Oshiomhole. Please listen.
And my distinguished colleagues, thank you for this privilege to meet those who will manage our central bank. I want to differ very radically from what seems to be the general view. My view is I am suspicious of people whose main background come from commercial banking. Because central banking is about policy. It's not about marketing. It's not about seeking profit. It's about getting monetary policies right with clear focus on specific microeconomic objectives. Whether it is job creation, stabilizing a price regime, exchange rate regime, inflation regime, all of that. When listening to the CBs, people who have managed banks that have gone into liquidation, that cannot be used as positive in their favor. The truth has to be told. I am not suggesting that any one of them is responsible. I'm saying a doctor who parades the number of people who died under his care cannot forward that to me as a CV for me to appoint him as a Surgeon General. I don't need them to take note of that. That what we do in our small places of work, whether they survive or fail, goes to our credit or discredit. So they should take note. However, sir, I think at the heart of our problem, and I need their views on this, is that the immediate past management of the bank emphasized their autonomy. But in the real world of macroeconomic management, every agency's activity rub off on another agency. There can be no autonomy from monetary authority such that they do not interface with the fiscal authority. And even these two, in my view, if they do not relate with the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, because the challenge we deal with now is, at least to everybody here, everybody seems to have submitted completely to the so-called market forces and rely on the invisible hands of Adam Smith to regulate and determine the value of the Naira. It is now clear, after Babangida started this devaluation, that the Naira, the market forces can never stabilize the Naira. The state must intervene. Interest rate cannot be at 20%, 25%, and you are expecting the manufacturing sector to grow that require long-term investment, or investment that require long-term gestation period, borrowing at 20%. Even if you are a drug dealer, you will find that those dealing with drug in some other part of Latin America will be more competitive. So I think that there is need for a complete thinking outside the box. When the West celebrates our free market, no control, and so on, I'm always suspicious. When they come for us that we are doing the right thing, the state is withdrawing, less regulations, at a time when we can see that even at the time of world trade, nation states are negotiating with other nation states to have specific trade relationships. So I feel we need this new team. We need this new team to completely think outside the box, and I will expect on this occasion, Mr. President, but all the things that many of our colleagues have spoken to, including my dear brother Ojekalu, if we allow Nigerians to import everything without restriction, and you have limited Naira dollars available, the Naira will continue to suffer devaluation. Our best time that you refer to, Mr. President, when you reminded us of a time where 1 Naira was $1.5 US. I was a very proud worker in the Texas factory. In those days, government ordered a policy of backward integration, prohibit manufacturers from importing certain items. Even some textile fabrics were prohibited because the game of competition presupposes equality and a level playing field. You cannot ask a featherweight champion to go and engage a heavyweight champion in the name of competition. Nigeria needs specific tools to protect industries at home and not pretend that a man with 1 leg can compete in a race with a man with 2 legs. We need a complete radical shift. We don't need the West to clap for us, We need Nigeria to clap for us. So I want these bankers, and also I've heard you very much. When I was in trade union, we trouble each other somehow when you were in Lagos. And even now, we trouble you. So that this president succeed, we need to keep interrogating our assumptions and ensure that we are not copying Washington, all this international finance capital. It is their interest. There is no such thing as common interest. So, Mr. President, I thank you for allowing me to talk this much, because if this president is going to deliver on the renewed hope, it must devise new tools away from invisible market to visible hands that can be held responsible and accountable for our collective future.
And then blah, 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 blah. So, the story about market force is all coming back as rules, okay? And it's asking that Tinubu should pump money into the dying economy. But the question is, where is Tinubu going to get the money to pump into the economy when they have already opened doors, including the Mo Adams, Oshiomhole Leo? They have already opened doors for how they are going to siphon whatever resources that comes through them that will never go into that economy. Just them. Now them need extra coach. They need dollars for their girlfriends, for their family shopping abroad, for their own medical trip and every other thing. They are those who need all these things, okay? And they are those who have wreaked havoc on your dollars. And to bring it to what it is today, they will continue to also wreck it from what we have seen. Well, you know, Nigerian criminal leaders have never run out of idea. It is the execution. Sure you get. And that is why when they talk, sometimes you want to kind of agree with them, believing that maybe they know what they are saying. They do know what they are saying, but they have no intention of doing any of them. Sure you get now. Because nobody is going to be held responsible for any backlash or any failure at any given assignment of economic value, so to say. Nobody's going to be held responsible. So yeah, if you want to be part of this tonight, take a look at the comment section. The link to join is there. I already have some parliamentarians waiting right now. But let me give you some ideas on how to be part of this. If you want to come on live, number one, you cannot use the same device you are using to watch this video. If you are watching this broadcast on your TV, that is brilliant. Now, it will be the time for you to grab either your iPad, your tablet, your phone, or even your laptop. So this will be the time too. And what do you need to do? If you are watching me on Facebook, all right, there is a link in the comment section of Facebook. Copy that link. Put it in your browser, on your phone, on your devices that you want to use, so that you can then set yourself up. Put up your name, your camera. Go to a quiet place in your house or wherever you are, where nobody is going to distract you. Put on some clothes. Don't join me if you are not wearing clothes and you are on your bed with the light of your room switched off. We can barely see your face. If I see, because I'm going to see you before you join, okay? So what I'm going to do tonight is I am not just going to kick you out. I am going to block you from joining us so that you don't continue to take the space of those who are serious. We don't have much time, and I hope we make the best of it tonight. So to join, again, use that link. Those who have always been regulars, I advise you tonight, don't wait till it is almost 15 minutes to go or 30 minutes to go. You will never get the chance to join. Don't wait till late hour. Join now, say your stuff, and others will say theirs, right? And to those of you who are currently watching on YouTube, remember you need to also drop your offering, like the broadcast, all right? Share it and subscribe onto my channel. If you're watching me on Facebook, go to my YouTube channel. That's not, the key person. It's the same thing. Sign into your YouTube. subscribe to my channel, and then you will never miss anything. And you can easily be part of this as well whenever YouTube or Facebook rather is acting up. So we'll take another minute break before I will screen all the parliamentarians that are there. Put on your camera, mute your microphone, okay? So when I get back, we will continue.
Liar.